Hey guys, it's Ethan from Zimmer Labs, back to do part 2 of this Crossguard video. I apologize for the abruptness of the ending on part 1. I actually recorded for another half hour or so, and I went all through the blades and everything, and then found out right as I was wrapping up, I looked up and noticed that the camera had stopped recording some time ago. So let's hope I don't do that again, and sorry for the wait, but I hope it was worth it. Let's take off where we left off. I think I was saying let's turn it on and see what it does. So real quick, I will show you guys how to install the blades. Pretty straightforward. Slide this guy in. It's a 7/8 blade with the blade sleeve, with some 2 metal adapters here because it's pretty deep set to bring it to the 1-inch width that the hilt is. Now, the only reason I chose to do that, I actually prefer 1-inch blades on crossguards. That's about it. It's the only thing I really prefer 1-inch blades on, but I think they look better on a crossguard. But this sleeve came 7/8, so that's what we're using. We've got set screws, one on either side for the quillions, and then one here at the collar for the main blade. Pretty straightforward. We just insert and lock them down with the set screw. Now these side quillions, because they are flame shaped, they have a little bit of shape to them, so they really only want to go in one way all the way. I'll show you what I mean by that. This part of the side quillion tends to rub up against part of where the blade sticks out, so you have to find that sweet spot. What I did was mark it right on there so I know where the bottom is, and that's where it slides in all the way and doesn't contact the bottom of the side of the hilt. So those of you guys using these Proplicator blades, you're gonna run into that. It's not really an issue, but you know, just so you're aware. But it's as simple as that to get the blades in there. Looks pretty sharp, definitely, I have to say. Let's fire it up. And again, the main kill switch is down here. It's this little fake ECU, and you just slide it up. Get a sound to tell you she's alive. And for my money, that looks awesome. As I said, delayed ignition. So when you fire it up, it depends on the sound font. But based on what the sound font is, you want to set your delays for the quillions to match the sounds. And what I found is 725 milliseconds is good for the KCS Crossguard sound font. Here's a blaster block for you guys. Well, you could also see the damaged electronics effect that I was talking about earlier. It's just simulating some basically electric fire inside of the circuitry. And it does stay on even when the blades go out while the saber is active. But only for a while. After a while it will shut itself off too, so it doesn't drain the battery. Yep, there it goes. That is definitely one of the pluses of the Proffieboard. You get the extra data line so you can do fun stuff with it. And it really does pretty well mimic the what it looks like when you get a little bit of an electric fire, some sparking. There's a couple different ways to do it too. What I did here was I just used a strobe blade, but I think a black and white fire blade actually looks better, so I'm going to switch it over to that. but the idea is very similar. This second blade here is a slightly different fire blade, but it has ignition going out and retraction coming back instead of going out, which is hard to do and took me a while to figure out. It's also got less of a delay on the side quillions to match the sound font. Next up, we've got the Jedi. No, it's just what I call Distress Fire, which is what Megtooth Sith added to the effort. Megtooth Sith figured out this blade. It is I think it's a per LED random flicker effect. But that's not it. This is. And it's pretty good. It really does look a lot like Kylo's blade in the movie. And it retracts back. Delayed ignition. And what we've got with this one down in the pommel is a white to red color cycle that ramps up to match the blade. So even when the blade's off, it does cycle around slowly in white. Oops. And then speeds up and ramps to red real quick to match the blade. And I know, as I was saying in the last part of the video, that purists are gonna complain about the pixels down here because Kylo's saber doesn't have that. It doesn't have LEDs going on in the hilt. So this is just one preset. For the other ones, you'll notice nothing's going on when you toggle back to the last preset. You fire it up, still nothing going on. But if you have a blaster block, you get some flashing going on down here. So there is some use of the pixels, just not all the time. Only if, like, say you're dueling or whatever, and you get a blaster block or a flash on clash event or something like that, you're going to get some action down in the hilt just to add some more effect, some more lights to the whole show. Toggle 2 forward. We've just got a nice Vader-esque red, no delay on the side quillions with a nice slow retraction. Next up is my Corran Horn Sound Font Yellow Sunburst Blade. Nice slow retraction. Love the effect of that. Love the sound of it. It's kind of hard to hear it on this one, but the smooth swing effect is great too. Hope you guys can hear that. The next one is straight up intense. This is the electricity blade, and this guy is just, it does not do it justice on the video. This thing would light up a whole room. It's intensely bright. We got the blue color cycles going down at the bottom of the hilt to just add more brightness to this blade. And let's finish it off. Obviously we've got the additional electric fire on this side, and we'll finish it off by exposing the crystal chamber too, so we just have all the lights cranking all at once here. Next up we've got, this is the new gradient blade. Frederick modified it so that the gradient blade is no longer limited to 2 colors. You can make as many colors as you want, and it will basically go from whatever the colors are that you input to the next color, and it will go there, you know, through the spectrum. So I did red, yellow, and red. So it starts red here, goes through to yellow, and then back to red again at the tip. And this was just an experiment, but it's a really cool look. It's an awesome looking blade. It's just a really smooth, clean, gradual fade of colors, but without any animation. And it does have all the effects. There's a blaster block, a blade lock up. This is the red Jedi Seizure Blade, or Sith Seizure Blade. It is just a an audio flicker red blade. The blue Flash on Clash. Pretty aggressive in real life. A nice red crystal going on down here. Red color cycle in the pommel. And this is just a ton of light going on, which is a good thing there's a massive battery in this, because otherwise it couldn't handle it and you'd be dead immediately. But this battery, believe it or not, will last you a solid half day. You know, just messing around with it all day long at a convention. This is the blood orange blade with a mild flicker to it. Red Tron blade in triplicate. It's a great effect with 3 blades. The camera doesn't really pick it up because it's moving too fast, but this is a white strobe blade. The POV blade. Rainbow, I believe. Oh, there we go, massive triple rainbow blade. It's a massive triple rainbow blade with a rainbow crystal and rainbow color cycle on the bottom. It's just a lot of rainbow going on right here. That's intense. I love Neopixels, they're just awesome. Next up is your battery indicator. Showing you the battery is nearly full. And then we're back to the best part. What makes this puppy worth doing. A genuine, legit animated fire blade for a fire saber for Kylo Ren. Like, how could you possibly not want to do that? And the fire blade is totally user adjustable. You can change the speed, you can change the intensity, the color, the brightness. You can totally change the color so it's not even red fire, blue, green, purple fire, whatever you want. I did a purple turquoise fire one time on a Obi-Wan saber that was totally wild looking. But it's phenomenally customizable. This is just how I like it. It reminds me the most of his saber in the movies, but you can totally change the look if you like. But this one is quite a bit different. It's got a lot more white in it. Let's show you guys the crystal a bit. It's just a solid red blade. So the crystal does whatever the blade does. So when you do a blaster block, it does bleed into and affect the crystal color. Blade lock up. And you'll notice down in the pommel, again, the pixels are off for this, but when you do have some sort of clashing event, they come to life to give you that extra just intensity, and they really look good. Basically, like the saber is stressed out and all the electronics are frying to try to handle whatever's going on in your battle, or something like that. And what might be my second favorite blade, back to the Korbanth font. I love that. It's just such an awesome sound font. That crystal is badass. So I want to give props to Dimitri Stock for this crystal chamber. I kicked the lights up a notch here for you guys. These two rhodium parts, really perfect for this hilt, but they're just awesome. They're super customizable too. Like I wove some brass tubing into it, and then some brass wire also. Lots of different ways you can tweak this to add little extra elements. And I love this crystal. I love that it's got imperfections and cracks where the blood red color seeped right into the crystal itself. I guess that's just about it. I think I already went over all the other stuff with you guys, but crystal chamber access is simple. Pop the side panel off, it's all magnetic. Secondary panel inside, you can actually just skip this if you want. This panel will go on just fine without the secondary panel. But the secondary panel comes a nice shiny chrome finish. I weathered it down to a more pewter look. But it's seamless, it's great. Really super easy to show off your crystal reveal. But it's still incredibly firm, and it's held together well, but it's also right where your hand goes, so these panels aren't going to come off if you're swinging it around because you're holding them on. Activation button here, that's part of what Korbanth gives you with the hilt. This is my aux button right here, which I added, which was a simple matter of machining out a hole right there for it, and then you got to bevel the backside a bit so that the back of the button can sit in and kind of stay in place. But yeah, that's the solution I came up with, and I really like it. Last thing, yeah, I guess that's really about it. I don't want to bore you guys. Main kill switch down here, just slide it down and she's off. And I think I already showed you guys how this whole section comes out to give you access to the USB and the SD card. So that's about it, really. Anyone have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. And Liam and Ronnie, I know you guys are both interested. Let me know your thoughts, and if you guys both want it, well, I'll just have to make a second one. But thanks for watching, and if you guys have any questions about anything, just give me a call.